Welcome back, Square Steaders. I am going to show you today how we take our quail from the brooder and put them on pasture. Now, we have had our quail in this John Siskovich tractor for, well, ever since we started putting them on pasture, pretty much. And it's worked okay. It's a John Siskovich style tractor, and it works okay, but it's not really ideal for quail, and there's a few problems with that, and we are going to talk about that here in just a moment. Okay, y'all, so we are in the shop. That's where I've been holding the quail for the last, 3 weeks of their life. They got out of the incubator. I put them in this little brooder, makeshift brooder. What their brooder actually is going to be their permanent quail tractor. But we had so many things hatching at once. We got our meat chickens and our turkeys and our quail that happened all at the same time. So I just used that quail tractor that I just built as a brooder. Now we're going to move them out of the brooder and put them in a temporary tractor out on some grass for a minute until we can finish building the build the current quail tractor and move everything back out. Hope that made sense. Kind of confused me. So I know you're wondering why we go way out in the woods with that compost and dump those pine shavings and manure like that. And that's because the pine shavings are so acidic, and the massive amounts of poop from all these little baby chickens and turkeys and quail is really hot. So we just prefer to have that compost for an extra long time. So we just put it out in the woods and let it do its thing for a lot longer than our normal compost. Okay, so here is our prototype quail tractor. Right now we have hardware cloth all the way around the edges, and this is made out of 2-inch PVC. I'm really testing this out to see the results. I want to be able to put a lot more quail on pasture at a time. Now, my camera. So the plan right now is we're getting the quail. We had them in a little small tractor just to put them in for an hour or so until we could finish putting sides on this. Now, because this is just a prototype, I'm just going to throw some metal on top, just to keep them from flying out and predators, etc. And I've got a lot of different ideas on how we're going to do this. I just don't know the best one, so we're going to start playing around with it. So we've got it back here, out here on the grass. We're going to put the baby quail on the grass, and I have to be able to get the quail. We have to water and feed every day. And we have to be able to move it, so it can't be too heavy. Now right now it's really not that heavy. It's actually pretty pleasant to pull, no big deal. As I add a roof and everything, it's going to get a little heavier. Now we built that chickshaw, that Justin Rhodes chickshaw, and my oldest daughter Keelan, she had an idea of kind of doing a lid like the chickshaw has. The whole top kind of flips up, and we're going to be playing around with it. Okay, so that's what we've got going on right now. So let's move these baby quail into here, let them enjoy their new fresh grass, and we'll just start playing around with throwing a bunch of scrap metal on top and start feeling this out over the next couple of weeks. Now I gotta be honest with you, this is the part that I don't understand with a lot of people trying to do the tractor and quail thing. I personally, me and our family, we don't like quail on the wire grates. It's harder on their feet, it's just, I don't like it. So we're trying to find other ways. Now, for some reason, in a lot of these groups I'm part of, people want to do a tractor with quail, and they want to put wire on the bottom. All of them want to put wire on the bottom, and their excuse is that they don't want predators digging under it. You know, it's a common practice. I mean, check out John Siskovich and a lot of people, it's a common practice to run just a single strand of electric wire, electric fence around your quail, or around a chicken tractor. I don't know why you wouldn't do the same thing with quail if you have an issue with predators digging underneath. The problem with putting wire on the ground is you're putting that hardware cloth or whatever it is that you choose, it's galvanized, and the poop just rusts it out. There's a problem. Another problem is the fact that when you move the tractor like you're supposed to on fresh grass all the time, their toes fall in between the holes, and you run them over and they get screwed up feet and broken toes and all sorts of problems. And on top of that, it almost, especially if you have tall grass, it kind of defeats the purpose of having them on the ground or on the tractor, in the tractor, if you put them over on tall grass and it just lays it down. Now maybe some of the grass will pop up through and they'll have a little bit to be on, but they can't take a dust bath, they can't eat the seeds, they can't. I don't understand why people consistently want to put wire on the bottom of a quail tractor. So if you have another better, you know, good idea as to why this is a good idea to put wire on the bottom of these, please leave them in the comments below and explain, because I really don't understand that concept. Anyway, let's move quail. So why PVC? Why did I go with PVC? Well, one, it's lighter and I can get a lot more quail in here. But the big reason, an issue that we run into when moving our tractors with the quail in it, is they like to go to the back, and it takes two people to move them, because they like to go all the way to the back when you start, you know, pulling it this way. They go all the way to the back and they get run over. Well, I wanted PVC because it's round, and if they do get run over, then at least, you know, it's not sharp edges and it's not as heavy. So that is one of the few reasons that I decided to try this PVC attempt. Okay, y'all, so we threw a bunch of scrap metal. We do so many projects around here. I've put a metal roof on my house, built the shop. All these little bit larger 4-foot-ish pieces and larger we save for events just like this. So the idea here is, yes, I understand that it looks ghetto, but I'm going to attempt to experiment with this. And the best way to do that is to do something like this little ghetto setup, because I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe a sliding metal roof thing to, you know, open it up and get the water and the food. I may put it on hinges. I don't know. We've got a lot of different ideas, and we'll just kind of play them out. And this is the best way to do that. This is, once again, just a prototype, and I think this is going to work out really well. You know, we've been dinking around with this pasture raised quail for a while, and a lot of people ask, why do we pasture raise our quail? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is because we don't like our quail being on the wire floors, and I think I mentioned that before. But if you do, I'm not mad at you about it. We just don't like to do it. This mimics nature, and we do as much as we can with all of our animals, our chicken and our turkeys, our ducks, everything. We put them in tractors and stuff to try to mimic nature and get the best quality product out of them as we can, the healthiest for our family. So speaking of which, these particular birds that you're seeing us put in here, these are all meat birds. I think we will be processing them in roughly 4 weeks. So this gives us plenty of time to experiment with this system. Once we figure out what we like, once we process them, we will make all the changes that we want to and move on. So that's why we do it. That's why, you know, these are meat birds, all of our meat animals that we make sure that they live on grass and do their bug thing and the whole 9 yards. And that's why we do it. So I think that's it. So y'all join along with this little adventure and this little experiment I got going on with the quail in the tractor. And until next time, I am going to sign off, I think, because I don't know how much more I can talk about these guys. This is Mike from Square One Farms. Give us a big old like if you like the video. Subscribe if this is your first time here. Until next time, I will see y'all on the next one.